I want to bring up first Constable Heap.
Go ahead. I just wanted to start off by saying the team that is behind us here, starting with Chief Finner in the Houston Police Department, and of course Marshal O'Connor, and just everybody that you see standing behind us here, was so instrumental in being able to accomplish what was accomplished. We hear this phrase of thin blue line. It's not so thin, let me tell you. We united together. They allowed our department and myself to be able to spend time and to concentrate on my department and the family. And we pulled resources from the federal government to the state government down to the local government or local entities to be able to capture this violent criminal who needed to be taken off the streets. I spoke to the family who asked me to be able to express my gratitude not to every one of my law enforcement partners, because they realized that it was a team effort to be able to bring the murderer of their brother and their father to justice. So this is when justice begins. So from my department and from the Galloway family, my message to each and every one of my friends and my partners behind me is just a very deep and sincere thank you. And the information that you're probably going to want to know is going to be given by some of these partners who were so instrumental in this capture of this criminal. So, Chief.
Thank you. Next, Marshall, come on up. Thanks.
Give your name and title, Marshal.
T. Michael O'Connor. I'm the U.S. Marshal for the Southern District of Texas. Howdy.
Howdy.
You've heard the saying the Marshal Service has from time to time, justice is coming. I'm here to tell you justice is here. With this collaboration amongst all the state, local, and federal agencies, it was outstanding. I've been in law enforcement for 40 years in different capacities, but I've never seen such a collaborative effort. And really, in a lot of ways, it was unspoken. Everybody kind of knew their role and knew what they needed to do. And that made it to where there wasn't any conflicts in what we needed to do. But I have to thank very much the opportunity in such a tragic circumstances for the U.S. Marshal Service to be a part of it, because we're a support agency. And the fact that the constable and the chief requested our assistance, I think that spoke highly, to which we provided the services, the information, and even myself, of being a former sheriff, I was able to communicate with the sheriff, which is a good friend of mine, in Val Verde County, and the marshal in the Southern District, former sheriff, and we were able to collaborate with the Southern District and the Western District to be able to get to the location. And as the individual came across, we were able to take him under custody and get him back. I know there's going to be questions regard to that, but I will say the collaboration between all, and especially with the Western District, Marshal Parmelo, and also Joe Frank Martinez, Sheriff of Val Verde County, they were on the spot. The minute we had heard that they're going to bring them to the bridge, they were on location. They already had them in place, and thanks for the Department of Safety. I know Jason Taylor, Commander, is going to be talking to you, but it was just, I don't even know how to describe the flow. Hopefully someday someone will be able to report this, but let's not forget what has happened. And the fact that we're here under a very tragic circumstance, and I hope and pray that this is somewhat closure, at least at this stage, for the family. God bless the family, and God bless Texas and law enforcement that we see that collaborated. Thank you.
Thank you. Special Agent George.
Good afternoon. My name is Rick Collodi. I'm the acting special agent in charge of the FBI. While nothing will bring back Corporal Galloway, I'm proud of the work of all the agencies represented here to bring his killer closer to justice and to provide some measure of relief to Corporal Galloway's family. The arm of law enforcement has a long reach, and as it's proven today, they are not held to geographic boundaries. The FBI provided technical and analytical support in this case. These resources, along with the collaboration among the partners you see in front of you, as well as the FBI office in Del Rio and the legal attaché in Mexico, allowed us to locate Oscar Rosales. FBI Director Chris Wray wrote an op-ed recently that highlighted the record number of law enforcement officers feloniously killed last year, 73. This is the highest number since the September 11 attacks. This year, unfortunately, isn't looking any better. We owe it to Corporal Galloway and to all our law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty to redouble our efforts to take violent offenders off the street and to ensure our brave men and women know that we and the communities they serve have their backs. Thank you.
DPS Jason.
We're going to take another quick 2-minute break here for some of you right here on Live Now from Fox.
First, on behalf of our agency and the state of Texas, I want to offer my condolences personally to the Galloway family and to the Precinct 5 family on your loss. You know, when violent criminals attack our men and women in blue, you're going to see the full brunt of our agencies. Every agency here, and even the agencies that are not on this stage right now, we're going to come forth and offer up everything we have to bring these individuals to justice. And this case is no different. It's a fine example of that, of the collaboration. In this case, DPS provided some technical support from our Texas Fusion Center, pushing leads all over the state to different law enforcement agencies. Also, our Texas Highway Patrol assets, Criminal Investigations Division, Texas Rangers, and our Aircraft Division played an instrumental role here toward the end of the case. So I'm very proud of our agency and our response, and I'm proud of all the other agencies in the collaboration and bringing this individual to justice. Thank you very much.
DA.
Good morning. The Harris County District Attorney's Office will do all in its power to ensure and deliver justice for the family of Corporal Galloway and his fellow deputies and all his brothers in blue and the citizens of Harris County. Everyone in our community is opposed to violent crime and wants to be protected from it. Police and law enforcement officers take an oath to protect the law and to protect us. And we hold that oath very seriously, and it is an oath that should be honored. It is an oath that we see in practice through police protecting us on the street every day. When Oscar Rosales, the defendant, viciously executed Corporal Galloway, he violated this sacred oath of the officer who was in the line of duty by killing him. Oscar Rosales is from Central America. His consulates in potential countries that we know he has lived in and may originate from, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, are being notified. And it is apparent that Oscar Rosales, a 25-year fugitive out of Harris County for the crime of aggravated assault, has been violent before. It is reported that he is wanted for murder in El Salvador during the time between his 1996 absconding from probation and the murder of Corporal Galloway. Prior violence, the violent nature of the offense, potential gang or cartel affiliation, the use of extreme and violent and deadly weapons, and other factors that we see present in this murder case equate to capital murder of a police officer. The crime of capital murder can only end two ways: in the death penalty or in life without parole. This case has all the earmarkings and is a death penalty case. Our office has a process allowing the defense to present mitigating evidence and to consider all evidence, which is not yet in. All of these officers continue to investigate. And I just want to thank the tireless efforts of Detective Luis Menendez of HPD, all of his commanders and the people who supported him, and of course, Chief Finner. I want to thank our lawyers, Sean Tier and Nathan Moss, who have been up for several days, working right alongside HPD tirelessly and with great devotion to our public. And I want to thank DPS, the Marshal Service, who worked through traditional law enforcement tactics to bring this defendant back. They now pass the baton to us. This defendant is expected to be in court tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. in the 482nd District Court. That's Friday, January the 28th. We'll be there. He was held without bond at our request, and all people such as Oscar Rosales, who have been violent, who are repeatedly violent, should be kept in jail pending their trial. And that's what we'll be pushing for. Thank you.
Very much. So before we open up the questions, I also want to thank everybody. What a great partnership. I am so proud as a law enforcement person in this region with all our partnership. And I also want to thank our homicide division. Great work, the DA's office, everybody up here, but even our warrant teams. A lot of them went days with little or no sleep. Our investigators, days with little or no sleep. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, but we'll take this time to open up for questions. And address anybody up here you want.
How did you know where Rosales was?
It's not a thing that we knew where he was. We were just following the leads. And through our partnership, the communication with everybody you see up here and more individuals in law enforcement, we connected the dots, and we said we would, and we were very intentional with doing it. This is mostly just good police work, but there were citizens who called in, but I could tell you, and some other people may want to speak to that, this is great police and investigative work along with our DA's office.
Where in the city was he found, and what was he
Well,
doing?
let me follow up that question that she just asked. The Marshal Service is, I probably shouldn't say old school, but we're on the ground and we're asking questions and we're talking to people, which, as I mentioned, traditional means. And yes, today there's technology and other ways to utilize, if able to do it, but it's more important to enter out in the field and start asking questions, which all agencies do this. But in this circumstances, that was the mission of the Marshal Service, is to go out and talk and see where that takes us. And it took us to the point to bring back Mr. Rosales to Houston, Texas.
Anybody else?
Can you elaborate on where exactly he was found in the city and what he was doing at the time he was found?
He was not found in the city. We located him in Mexico across from Del Rio.
Yes.
We didn't apprehend him here. Sorry?
In the city across from Cunha?
Mm-hmm.
Or where in that vicinity?
Well, that's part of the investigative nature, so those details will be withheld for the U.S.
We're going to take another quick 2-minute break here on Live Now from Fox.
We will not disclose any of that investigative information at this time.
Is that something some of the other agents would like to speak on?
No, it's going to be the same. We're one united team up here. Go ahead. Next question? Yes, ma'am.
Chief, could you elaborate a little more on his criminal history?
I'll let the, yeah.
Sure. Under a different identity, another clue about this person's professional criminal career. He was arrested for aggravated assault with a knife back in 1995, and he pled guilty, received 5 years deferred adjudication. A motion to revoke that probation was filed as early as May of 1996, presumably based on his failure to appear. That's what the records show upon first blush. We'll get into every detail of that as these lawyers prepare this case for trial. But he absconded and literally evaded detection and capture by law enforcement on that open warrant for 25 years.
Is his real name Oscar Rosales? Is that his real name?
You know, these days it's unclear what somebody's real name is. He's gone by multiple identities. The identity that he had in 1995 here in the United States was that of Mauricio Aguilar, I don't have all my glasses, Albarangue. Of course, that's part of the detective and our prosecutor's investigation, and at this time, it's not confirmed.
Can you talk to us about his immigration status? Was he deported at any point and then illegally back into the country?
I cannot. I can tell you that our federal partners were instrumental. I want to thank the FBI for all the support that they've given HPD and, of course, Constable Precinct 5, but I am not able to confirm his immigration status today. The facts are he was.
Is there any record that anyone went looking for him during that time?
At this time, we haven't gotten into the investigation that far, but I can tell you normally there's some due diligence with 134,000 cases pending and all that this city has been through. I won't know the evidence till we get down into it, but I can tell you that he absconded in 1996 and has not been in the Harris County jail system or, to the best of our knowledge, the United States system in between. But the warrant on the case out of El Salvador indicates that he has not been in the country during all of that time.
Let's
in
do
this
two
country.
more questions, y'all. Two more.
What year was that murder in El Salvador, and did he resist arrest this time?
There's no details on the murder at this time that are to be released. I cannot answer the apprehension question. Chief?
Yeah, I can't at this time. We'll send it out.
Have you guys been able to recover the weapon used?
That's part of the investigation, and yeah, okay. You got one. Go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
I'm just wondering if there's any idea of the motive or why he did this, or the fact that he wasn't
You
fugitive.
you can. I don't think, and no one can speak to sheer just evilness, and it's hard. You know, I'm not even concerned in asking him that right now. He did it. And you know what? He's going to be held accountable. But that is a question that good people like yourself ask. How can a human being do that to another human being, especially somebody who's serving? And it's just hard to accept. But right now, justice is going to be served. All right.
Why Corporal Galloway tried to pull him over?
I don't know. Yeah.
As far as, do you know where
This is the last one. Go ahead. Yeah.
did he cross the border and take like the getaway car across the border?
That's part of the investigation. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Hey, thank y'all. Thank you very much. Thank you.